Hey, good morning, sports bettors. It is Matt Modi here with OddsJam, and in this video, just going to be betting some NBA player props. So I have had an insane hot streak to begin the NBA season, including my NBA player props that I've been giving out. The last time I came out with a video, unfortunately, I wasn't able to get one out on Friday, so I had one, I wasn't able to get one out Saturday. So my last one was on Friday. That went 4-0. Literally swept the slate. I've also been giving out a lot of picks on Twitter at my Twitter handle Jedi Modi, so make sure to follow me there. I'm on an insane hot streak on Twitter. Everything is tracked. Everything is public on Twitter. So it's been going pretty well for the NBA, and I would like to take credit, but in reality, I'm just pulling plays that I like from the OddsJam positive expected value page. So really, all the credit goes to using OddsJam. And just look at these last 2 weeks for me. The first week of the NBA season, up just under $3,000. This past week, this most recent week, up 2,400. It's just been insane. 2 of my 3 highest profiting weeks. We'll see what happens today. Maybe I can make it. Maybe I can keep the streak going and actually beat this today. But regardless, 2 of the 3 weeks. These past 2 weeks have been 2 of the 3 most profitable weeks I've ever had using OddsJam. It's just been an insane run that I am very happy is currently going on, and I don't want it to end. So this is all to say, check out OddsJam, check out the positive expected value page, use the strategies that we talk about in this video, and you will turn a profit in a long run. Just have to give it enough time. But regardless, let's get into these plays. The first one that I wanted to lock in here is Kyle Kuzma under 2.5 assists. The play is at plus 120 odds at BetMGM. So let me go ahead and lock this in. I would like to put 3/4 of a unit, which is $75. Unfortunately, MGM will only let me get roughly $16. So that one's tough. And another thing that's cool, and this is the last thing that I'll say before I get into the math of everything. OddsJam, now you can sync your bets. So I've synced my BetMGM account, so you can see if I add this bet, it will be duplicated, and then I can just remove it. But if you go to oddsjam.com, you go to the bet tracker, you go to the home page, you can actually sync your sportsbooks, so you don't have to manually add bets to your bet tracker anymore, which is really cool. So anyways, the play, Kyle Kuzma, under 2.5 assists, plus 120 at BetMGM. So this no vig line that you see here is very, very important. OddsJam back-tested just thousands of betting opportunities with the goal of trying to just determine what sportsbooks are the sharpest at pricing certain odds. That's what they were trying to accomplish. So they back-tested all of this information, and then they just came to that conclusion. And also, the cool thing about that is it's different. Different books are sharper on different markets. So maybe one book is better at player props. Maybe one book is better at NFL. One's better at tennis, whatever it may be. OddsJam calculated that and removed the VIG using a weighted average from all of those sharp sports books. So this line you see here, the no vig odds, this is going to be the quote-unquote true line of what a market should truly be priced at. And anywhere in which you can get better odds, more favorable odds to the sports bettor than the no vig line, that is a profitable betting opportunity, which is exactly what we have here on Kyle Kuzma. So the gap between these two numbers is where you get your positive expected value from. Another thing that I like to do is if you just click open a play like I have here, it pulls up where every sportsbook prices odds for it. So we see plus 120 at BetMGM. The closest book, if we just look at the entire betting landscape, the closest book has this priced at plus 106, which is Caesars and Bet Online, Fox Bet at plus 105. Every other book has this for minus money. So if we're just looking at this logically, we're not looking at anything else. What's the most likely scenario here, right? That these 10 sports books all have this mispriced, or maybe this one book just has it mispriced because they just haven't updated their lines quickly enough. The most likely scenario, Occam's razor, is that BetMGM just has this mispriced. And if you take advantage of enough betting opportunities where one book like BetMGM has a mispriced line, that is how you can be profitable. That's how I've been able to be so successful in the past 2 weeks. And honestly, in my career with OddsJam, it's not just the past 2 weeks. So the play, Kyle Kuzma under 2.5 assists, my first player prop for today, Sunday, August 30th. Happy Halloween. The next play that I wanted to lock in here is Franz Wagner, not Wagner, Wagner, because he's German, under 4.5 rebounds. This is actually going to be a full unit. I would like to put $100 on this one. Looks like BetRivers will only accept 37 of that, and then they'll send the remaining 62 for approval, whatever that means. So we'll see if it gets accepted. But the play here is Franz Wagner under 4.5 rebounds, plus 100 odds at BetMGM. And let's chat about this one while that's getting confirmed. So the no vig line has its price at about minus 107, minus 107.1. Again, the gap between those two numbers, that is where you get your positive expected value from. Gap between minus 107 plus 100 gives you an EV percent, a profit margin of about 3.43%. And it looks like, nope, they're still deciding. So the 3.43% is your edge over the sportsbook. It's your percent positive expected value. And then this one, the reason why I put more money on this one, people ask me about unit sizing. Look at the difference in all of these sportsbooks. So you're getting even money at BetRivers. Every other book, Pinnacle, sharpest sportsbook in the world. BetOnline, another really sharp sportsbook. DraftKings does a great job specifically with player props. And then Caesars, FanDuel, PointsBet. They all have this. They're heavily, heavily favoring this play to go over. If you compare both sides of the line on each sportsbook, the over and the under, every single sportsbook heavily favors the under. Heavy. PointsBet, minus 125, the over at minus 105. FanDuel, minus 128 to plus 100. Minus 125, minus 125. And then look at even the sharp sportsbooks, which you obviously want to give the heaviest weight to, which OddsJam does. Minus 124 to the under on Pinnacle, minus 107 towards the over. BetOnline, minus 125, minus 103. It's just insane when you compare. So let's see. Still awaiting approval. Let me go to my bet tracker, see if they accepted it. They did. Okay, so they did accept the full 100. Nice. So let me add this one to my bet tracker. BetRivers, we can't sync it yet. We're working on that one. A couple books that we can't add, but this one I did have to manually add. So my second play was Franz Wagner. I love saying his name. Under 4.5 rebounds. The next play that we're looking at here is another rebound prop, Bojan Bogdanovic, who now plays for the Pistons, which I'm guessing not everybody knows. Over 3.5 rebounds. This is at plus 100 on PointsBet. So this is actually going to be another 3/4 unit play for me. $75, assuming PointsBet lets me get $75 on it. Let me see what they end up accepting. An unfortunate reality, so I can only get 25 on this one, which is unfortunate. But for those of you at home, should be 3/4 of a unit. PointsBet we can sync, so as you can see, it'll say that you already linked your account, which is great. And so the reason why I like the Wagner one more than the Bojan one in terms of unit sizing, look at the difference in where the other books price it, right? Like Pinnacle has it pretty favored at minus 126, the over, as does DraftKings. But BetOnline has it more 50-50. BetRivers has it more 50-50, actually favoring the under. FanDuel has it way closer to the PointsBet line at minus 106. So this is not me saying that you should avoid these types of opportunities, just that your unit sizing should be higher. So the odds actually changed even more favorable for us. So if you're watching this, they're actually even better now at plus 102. But if you just compare the difference between these two situations, like minus 125 across the board on Franz Wagner versus a little more discrepancy on the other one, the Bojan play, that's why my unit size was a little bit lower. It's still a good play. It's still an outlier to the sharp books, which is the most important thing. Still positive expected value, just not as quite as a valuable play. And the last play that I'm going to go ahead and lock in here is Cameron Johnson over 4.5 rebounds on, this is another BetRivers play, plus 102 at BetRivers. Same thing here. It's a good play. It's not as good as the other one, so I'm going to put another half unit play on this one. We're looking at Cam Johnson over his rebounds prop. Should be plus 102 odds. Perfect. So this is going to be half of a unit, $50 for me. Let's see if they let me get the full 50. So 36, I'll send the remaining for approval. And similar logic to the Bojan play, not the other one, where it's a good line. This plus 102 is a real outlier. No book has it closer than looks like minus 111, but it's not quite as big of a discrepancy as the Franz Wagner play. So I still like it. I put half a unit on it, just not the full unit McSlam. And this is my fourth and final player prop for today. So let's see if they ended up accepting this full 50. And they did. Nice. So they accepted both of them, which is cool. So let me just add this one to my bet tracker, click save, and we are good to go. So those are my 4 NBA player props for today. I appreciate you guys watching. If you're tailing, Let me know. We'd love to hear it. Don't forget to follow me on Twitter where I post more plays as the day goes on at Jedi Modi. And that's it. So enjoy the NBA slate. We got an NFL slate, and have a good one.